so cloud nine on a spaceship, playing with my brain and practically erased it. Mind races, I can't really take it. Never good enough and honestly I hate like fuck dude Cupid, did me so stupid. Threw a pity party and I don't wanna do this. She threw me out cause I'm being emotional. I call her baby girl where I'm supposed to go. I never. All these fucking pretty girls want one thing. I might not know what it is, but it's not me. Wow. She want a guy who put her in a bad mood when she's feeling down. Yeah, that makes me pretty sad too. Yeah, all these fucking pretty girls want one thing. She loves me on the phone but fucking hates me when I'm there. I try my best to show I wanna, try my best to show I care. It's like she hates herself so much she loves the pain, but girl I swear I cannot bring myself to hurt you, but your heart I can't repair. Caught off guard, so shocked, can't talk now. Watching shows like Naruto to keep my head down. Then it clicks, I missed the messages she wrote down. So constricted like her hands around my throat now. You know I'd text you, you know I'd call you, and when it snows I'd be the one to warm you. But you don't want none, I'm in a long queue. Vladimir Putin, you looking for bad news. My lights go weak, they need a buff. Loving you is beat me up. How many times do I have to say it? I am not enough. Treat me like a string of love wrapped around your pretty thumb. Say that I'm here for you when I'm drunk because I'm fucking dumb. Need to stop but you're so pretty. Oh, be told this love might kill me. Her excuses condescending. Fujimoto wrote my ending. All these fucking pretty girls want one thing. I might not know what it is, but it's not me. Wow. She want a guy who put her in a bad mood when she's feeling down. Yeah, that makes me pretty sad too. Yeah, all these fucking pretty girls want one thing. All these fucking pretty girls want one thing. I might not know what it is, but it's not me. Wow. She want a guy who put her in a bad mood when she's feeling down. Yeah, that makes me pretty sad too. Yeah, all these fucking pretty girls want one thing.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Alex Cuesta Show. How we doing out there? January 19th, 2025. Dave, you're here. Hi.
Yes, I'm here. I am here. I won't be here tomorrow or Tuesday, but I am here tonight.
That's okay. So we're trying out a little bit of a different thing here. Restream has decided to fuck with us and basically make us go and move to their new studio style. So let us know if it's any different at all.
Mhm.
If there is anything better, anything worse you like about it, how much we suck. I got an absolutely hilarious comment the other day. So somebody decided to watch
Mhm.
the Josiah one, and they commented like, hey, content looks interesting, but you move your head so much and you talk so fast, you look like an electric doll. Scary. And I was like, you know
Well,
what? I'll
stop
take.
looking like an electric doll, you weirdo.
Well, I commented back and I was like, maybe I am an electric doll. Mwahaha. And I was like, really, thank you. Appreciate the feedback. But it
Yeah.
was like so far long ago with Josiah. Like that
Yeah,
was
it works.
episode number 90 something. So yeah, no, I love it. That was called an electric doll. So that kind of highlighted it for me right there.
'Cause you
Made
are
me
one.
real happy. So Dave, is it snowing by you?
Yes. Well, I don't know about right now. I haven't checked outside recently, but it was snowing all day.
Okay.
It should be stopping soon if it hasn't already. But yeah, it's covered everything.
We are caught in a winter wonderland. I did my initial first run with the snowblower and cleaned up the cars, did the path, and then I came inside and I was like, oh, I did it all that, and my wife was like, what did you do? I was like, what do you mean? And she looks outside, she's like, it's covered already. I'm like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. It came down a good amount today.
So I just want to say what's up to Nate G. Nate,
Yes.
hello.
What is up, Nate?
How are you as always?
Look at a shadow on the comment. when you
Yeah, look
bring
at
it up.
that. Look at that. It's fancy.
That's interesting.
Well, I kind of changed our color. You always use black for our things, but I made
Mhm.
it white because I do the white background for here.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm supposed to do I don't know which background I want to do. I think I used the white background for the other one, but we're going to change it to black. Blah, there we go. I don't know, man. We're just doing our thing. All right, so let's have some fun. Oh, what did he say? during Bills Ravens. A
Yeah,
little
I'm watching it
surprise.
right now.
Big game Lamar and the fumbling Ravens doing as usual. So
Yeah, well, uh, there might be a tie here. I could be behind because I'm watching very legally, but
I mean, I
there
mean
could be a tie here soon.
they did storm back from what I because I saw they were getting beat up,
Yeah, they
and
were down
then
11.
I got the ESPN update because I'm a great football fan. But no,
Mhm.
I've been watching most of the playoffs. So yeah, it's you have kids, it's hard. And we do a damn show. So yeah, we're doing it during Bills and Ravens. And Nate and anyone out there that's watching that usually watches, the reason why I have not been on and streaming as much is because I had no idea what the hell I was doing in the studio. And I was trying to figure out, am I going to go the OBS route? But then I would lose some of the like features and things that I would have here. And I'd have to create a whole new thing. Dave, your face says a lot. What's going on?
Yeah, Mark Andrews just dropped an easy 2-point conversion to tie it up. Now they're going to lose.
Wow, that's rare. Andrews is so freaking reliable. You know who Andrews reminds me of, and this is kind of an off-topic thing. He reminds me a lot of Dallas Clark in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
I think
nice.
he's a little more athletic than Dallas Clark, but he
That's
reminds me
a
of a lot of
crazy
Dallas
way to
Clark.
lose. The Bills fans can't talk about Chiefs black magic when that just happens. Like that's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, Nate G coming in saying don't fumble twice and throw a what the fuck interception, and this is a Ravens runaway. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, this is kind of I mean, this is what we come to expect from the Ravens, right? Like they are really good. Lamar plays great. He gives you hope. And then, I mean, unfortunately, they ran into the Bills. It's a tough team to go because I think both of these teams really match up well against the Chiefs. So,
Yeah.
one of them wishes they could have gotten the Texans, right?
Yeah.
That's really all it
Yeah.
is.
And Nate saying second huge drop by Andrews and he had a key fumble. Yeah, it's rough. That's why we saw a lot more Noah Likely. Sorry.
Yeah, and they've been moving on
Sorry.
to Noah likely much more, and it makes sense now.
Yeah.
But so, Dave,
No worries.
let me do my quick little
Yes.
preamble here. Epstein client list. We will find out starting tomorrow when America returns if the Epstein client list will become something that we will be privy to seeing. I believe that we are going to get it. And so, but if we do not, I am going to continue ringing the bell on bringing the Epstein client list to light because it is necessary. Let's keep going here. So as I'm sitting here through a snowstorm, David over there in West Virginia had a ton of snow. I don't know about you, Dave. I can't help but thinking about the people in North Carolina
Mhm.
who have either gotten hit by this snow already or are going to get hit by more. Um, this is when they are in need. I know, I'm going to talk about the people of California too, but Biden promised them basically 100% help. So it kind of is infuriating because it goes back. We had a conversation about that, Dave, last time you were on, and you're looking at it and it's like, okay, Tennessee and North Carolina, they're kind of the middle class poor people. Fuck them. California are partially our donor base. Let's make sure they're taken care of. But that makes it fall on our job as the people to take care of our brothers and sisters over in North Carolina, over in Tennessee, anywhere that this is going on. So, as you're looking out your window, if you're dealing with the snowstorm like Dave and I are, please take a moment to realize that all the things that you have to go throw on to go walk outside, the people of North Carolina, some in Tennessee and things like that, they lost it. So do what you can, send stuff there if you can. Mercury1.org is my um, place of choice, but there are so many great ones. And I am going to say the people of California and the fires, it is tragic. They're not all millionaires that suffered, right? There's the 3 separate fires. I don't think they're all fully contained yet, which is out of fucking control. But do what you can for them as well. It's not like we're going to leave them out because they're also important. So that is that part of the preamble. Moms for Liberty, always going to rock them. Definitely go and do what you can secondary for them at this point because obviously Helene Milton, California victims, they come first. Continuing talking about the FEMA case where they overlook Trump supporters because that's horseshit and we need to find out the bottom of it. And I hope when Trump comes in, that's one of the things that they start to look into right away. And then lastly, Trump is about to be inaugurated tomorrow. It is a great victory. It's something we should all celebrate. We should take the day to be very happy. It's also Martin Luther King's Day tomorrow. So be very, be cheerful. It's a great day tomorrow. But then when you're done celebrating and Trump is officially in office and we're getting back, keep the pedal to the metal. Go find out where you can help in a local election. Go join your committee. Go do whatever you can, because we cannot let this chance of the next 4 years go away to kind of solidify what the MAGA movement has started. All right, Dave, let's go.
Yes, sorry. I was looking at some things because Trump has his rally going now as well. So, and he said some things already that are pretty interesting. Like he said, we'll be very happy with the January 6th decision on the January 6th prisoners. He said we're going to be very happy with his decision on what to do with them. He said our invasion on our borders is stopping by sundown tomorrow. He said he's doubled down on his commitment of releasing the files, the Epstein files, and Diddy, and all that stuff. So his rally is happening, or has happened. And I was just catching up on things on Twitter.
We could show highlights of that if you have them.
I
If you
do
want to
not
throw
right
them up.
now, but
Okay,
we'll just
you'll find them.
go first off.
But and the quick thing with kind of the second part, you said the Diddy files, then you said about the
Epstein.
southern border. It's already started, right? Because we don't have it up here, but the self-deportation is already being reported that there's a lot of self-deportation going on right now. So a lot of people know it's coming, and they know that they'd rather not take that risk. But I mean, the ones that are incarcerated already, Holman already said that's our first easy kill. There's about 2 million in our prison system, or something insane that's in our prison system. So we're going to see a massive dent in that right away. And I'm excited for it because we need it. So,
Yeah.
Dave, let's get rolling right here. What do we got?
So first things first, there was a relocation of the inauguration. I'll actually just read Trump's truth.
Go for it.
I fucking hate that name. I don't know why. Anyway.
Well, hopefully when he becomes president, truth just goes out the fucking wayside.
It won't. Anyway,
it's been effective, I guess.
January 20th cannot come fast enough. And not everybody, even those that initially opposed a victory by President Donald J. Trump and the Trump administration, just want it to happen. It is my obligation to protect the people of our country, but before we even begin, we have to think of the inauguration itself. The weather forecast for Washington, D.C., with the wind chill factor, could take temperatures into severe record lows. There's an Arctic blast sweeping the country. I don't want to see people hurt or injured in any way. It is dangerous conditions for the tens of thousands of law enforcement, first responders, police canines, and even horses, and hundreds of thousands of supporters that will be outside for many hours on the 20th. In any event, if you decide to come, dress warmly. Therefore, I've ordered the inauguration address, in addition to prayers and other speeches, to be delivered in the United States Capitol Rotunda, as was used by Ronald Reagan in 1985, also because of very cold weather. The various dignitaries and guests will be brought into the Capitol. This will be a very beautiful experience for all, and especially for the large TV audience. We will open Capital One Arena on Monday for live viewing of this historic event and to host a presidential parade. I will join the crowd at Capital One after my swearing in. All other events will remain the same, including a victory rally at Capital One Arena on Sunday at 3 p.m. and all 3 inaugural balls on Monday evening. Everyone will be safe, everyone will be happy, and we will together make America great again. So that's been kind of big news. A bunch of people are kind of calling him a wuss for moving it. But honestly, I think it has a little bit more than just it being cold.
I was going to say, I'm going into the conspiracy realm. I think there's a credible threat. I think the Secret Service has told them we cannot protect you properly. And, it would be in everybody's best interest. We have the cold coming. It's a good excuse, but it would be in everyone's best interest with all the important people there. And we see Javier Milei is over here in the States. He's going to be at one of the inauguration balls.
Argentina is apparently in a surplus now.
No, can't be. Can't be. No way. Didn't you know that slashing all of that government and going to, he's a madman that went to, Bitcoin and stuff. He wants to do shit like that. Like, what a psycho. He's going to, not yet. I think he's going to. Yeah. No, he's going to.
Yeah.
He's going to use the US dollar and then Bitcoin and then he's going to, but regardless, no, it goes to show that those policies work if they're let to be done. But by the way, I think that there is a credible threat. And I think that this makes sense to use this to then keep everybody safe, because now no one's getting in. It's not like a large crowd outside. There isn't a possibility of anybody funneling in without Secret Service checking them 7 times, right? So I think it's a smart move if especially everything that Trump has gone through.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then next we have right here. I mean, there's a discussion about how this connection to Ronald Reagan. Do you want to watch this? Do they have any more info other than just Reagan also held it indoors?
No, I think that they're just trying. I didn't watch it, but but I just I've heard it that it's just drawing the comparison between another comparison between the two, that they were both actor, but TV people beforehand. They're both kind of on the left before going to the
Yeah.
right. There's
Yes.
just another thing coming in because
Yeah.
Reagan did the same thing, and it was one of his more memorable speeches
Yes.
came from that inauguration. So that's kind of, you don't have to go crazy into it. If we want to watch a little bit, we can. What is it? A minute long?
Yeah, it's a minute 13. We can put it on a little bit.
Why
A
not?
little
Let's
bit,
do
a
it.
little bit.
Doesn't hurt.
This has happened twice from what I've researched, 1909 with Howard Taft and then 1985 with Ronald Reagan. And what's interesting to me is the Ronald Reagan comparison, because not only is the inauguration indoors, you have the hostage release, really right before Trump comes in. You had the assassination attempt, Ronald Reagan as well. Trump is kind of a Reagan-esque president in more ways than one.
And I think that what this represents, too, is that you don't have to do something just because that's how it was always done. Here's a president that, to me, hallmarks his decision-making in the same way, which is, let me assess the current situation. Here are the factors. It's not tenable to be outside, so we're going to move it inside. I mean, we see this stuff often with other large events, and I think the reality is that the storied history of this and the solemnity and the iconography that we're all going to be watching and how important and crucial this event is, all of that remains the same. And now everyone's going to be a lot more comfortable. And we don't have to look at Bernie Sanders memes and mittens on, right? The reality is we have here in New York, we're expecting temperatures colder than 2 years past, I believe, historically. So he's absolutely right to protect those Americans that are going to see this historic and wonderful event.
I don't need the whole entire going into that. But let's be honest, it's 20 degrees. If you're from this area, it's not that cold. It's 20 degrees. If there's wind, it sucks, right? Which there might be wind over in that area, especially with all the stuff. But
to be
sitting there in 20
to be
degrees
completely
isn't that bad.
truthful, if I had a decision of where to hold it, I would move it indoors too. But that's because I don't like the cold at all. I would rather not be cold unless I have to be.
It's true. It's true. And yeah, no. So while I've seen some people on X kind of pissed because they're like, I'm traveling, I've already made my way there, blah, blah, blah. Overall, it's like, again, similar to what she said, though, if you're going to have people that are going to get frostbite, what's the point? Because people are now, because you got to remember too, Trump's going to be there. He's going to do his inauguration. He'll do his speech, and then he'll get the fuck out of there. People wait for hours over, near the monument and stuff, and they funnel in. So, I mean, it's a smart move, and it's going to keep everyone safe. That's
It's a move. It's a move. That's what it is. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything crazy in either way, to be completely honest with you.
No.
So
I like it though.
we'll move on from the inauguration. Very big day. Very big things happening. And one of the big things happening that got a lot of press everywhere is about TikTok.
The TikToks.
Yes. So funny enough, what was actually a discussion a while ago under the Trump administration about banning TikTok became now a thing under Biden about banning TikTok. And just a couple days ago, the Epic Times said the White House on Friday said that the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to uphold a ban on a Chinese-owned TikTok social media platform will ultimately fall under President-elect Donald Trump's administration. Earlier Friday, Supreme Court sided with the Biden administration in upholding the ban, just 3 days before Trump is due to be inaugurated as president. It found that a law ordering TikTok to divest from Chinese-owned entities or face a ban does not violate the Constitution's First Amendment. The administration, like the rest of the country, has awaited the decision just made by the U.S. Supreme Court on the TikTok matter. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a statement on Friday in response to the order. Given the sheer fact of timing, this administration recognizes that actions to implement the law simply must fall to the next administration, which takes office on Monday. So, since that has happened, what has basically happened is TikTok to restore service in the U.S. after incoming President Trump says he will issue an executive order pausing the ban upon taking office. TikTok was down for like 5 hours.
Yeah, well, it was down. It started last night. It started last night, and then earlier today, mid-afternoon, it came back. Now, I am curious because do the Democrats somehow have a point with it being like extra constitutional things that Trump is using to bully pulpit before he even has it. Like he is doing
So
so much as even though the Democrats made the office of the president elect under Biden. So
yeah.
maybe, Trump's just using it, but it's like
Mhm.
kind of bizarre how much he's already gotten done and influenced just
Yes.
off of osmosis.
Well, it just shows how weak the administration that we currently have still in place until tomorrow uh, is. It just shows how weak it was in the first place.
Yeah.
And to be quite truthful for you, like I understand the side, like the free speech side of it, but to me, it's kind of a thing where, if you have a foreign adversary that is actively pumping propaganda into your country, I think you kind of find avenues to stop that as much as you can.
It
Uh,
goes to show the
throw
problem because all these people went to Red Page. It's fucking
Red
crazy.
Note,
So many people,
Red
Red
Note.
Note. So many
Yeah.
people went there, and
Yeah.
they're not even hiding that they're a communist fucking thing.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's like Little Red Book. It's literally
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Which is an interesting move. It's a very interesting move that people are making. And it just shows exactly what has happened on TikTok in the first place. It shows why you just shouldn't allow these types of things to happen. It kind of goes into China buying land. It goes into all these types of things that we just allow because we take these rights that we have and we expand them to a point where they're not necessarily meant to be expanded to.
So Nate asking, is it back up? And yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
back
back
up.
up. And Nate saying Andrew Wilson was in the middle of calling Harry Sisson gay when it went down.
So he was just talking about Harry Sisson. He was just talking like it was
Andrew
a
Wilson's
normal
amazing.
conversation about Harry Sisson.
But so the thing that I find interesting is like you had Trump during the administration, even after during the Biden administration, kind of on the side of like fuck TikTok. And then his friend, fellow mogul in New York City, Kevin O'Leary's like, kind of want to buy this and make it an American company.
Well, that's
And
the whole thing. Is that
since
like
O'Leary went to buy it, though, Trump has changed his tune because I think he wants to give Kevin O'Leary a chance to make
well,
an American company.
but that's also the whole point of that's also what it is that was passed though is that if China does divest, if
Mhm.
those companies do divest and allow Americans to hold actual charge over the company, at least some parts of the company, then it's not that big of an issue. It's the fact that the law is that if it's completely foreign owned like it is, then they will not be allowed to be able to just pour in whatever they want into our country. So then that's why, and ByteDance and China were being very aggressive about this, and that's
Well,
why
they
they
were
literally
assholes.
they put up their warning. They put up their warning about the ban, saying that you cannot go into it. And I'm pretty sure they actually actively mentioned Trump in
Donald
it,
Trump.
saying
Yep.
that Trump will bring it back up or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, we're actually already been over for the most part what has happened in the
So I
run up to this.
quickly
Before I even
want
bring
so
the
yeah,
tweet up.
I quickly want to jump in. I'm gonna send this to you because I found this interesting because we didn't talk about this one. It's a post that Trump put up because we don't need to go through the backstory because we just kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
Let me PM this to you
And
real quick.
also, yet again, a part of it is definitely that is a Chinese spy app. But I
100%.
do think the argument against that, saying, well, we're already spied on in every other way. Plus, hold up. Plus, China has a million other ways to spy on us. They
Yeah.
already do. Pokemon Go literally fucking tracks your data and
That's
everything.
Japan.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we're already tracked in every single way.
Yes.
So, but I feel like it's much more of a better argument in general to say, well, they're actually propagandizing literally everyone that goes on the website. But here we go. Let me
I
bring
found
this up.
So I found this interesting because this was something that on Truth Trump asked, and this was earlier today,
Mhm.
gave the suggestion here. I'll read this real quick.
Yep.
Trump saying, I'm asking companies not to let TikTok stay dark. And quite literally, I'm not going to lie, this was at 10 o'clock. By 10:30, it was back up. Anyway, I will issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. The order will also confirm that there will be no liability for any company that helped TikTok from going dark before my order. So I am curious. So I'm going to stop real quick here. I'm curious how constitutional this is because this was a law passed by Congress. So I know this branches into a national security thing. So it kind of gets into that gray area, right? Because the commander in chief can make decisions on the snap due to national security.
Yes.
but Congress passed a law. So this is kind of, you want to talk about a potential constitutional crisis. If Congress wants to be an asshole, they can, right?
So, yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is that like in all technicalities, this is probably something you cannot do. If it were to go up against the Supreme Court, they would say, Trump, you can't do that.
Yes.
To send the executive order type of
But
thing.
see, I don't know if
But-
they would,
Well,
because
they
it's
very
national
well
security.
hold
He has
up.
purview over that.
Yes, but they very well might still,
Yes,
because
no.
it was put into law, and this isn't exactly about national security. It's about him saying, "I want us to see an inauguration on Monday." So, but the thing is that the executive office has been used in such a way that a lot of the times that's not happening anymore. The only other time that we ever seen recently where the Supreme Court was able to say anything about this stuff was when Biden tried to leap over the student loans, try to forgive them in some type of way, and the Supreme Court said, no, you can't just do that from your office.
Yeah.
So I would say technically he cannot do this, but with the way the presidency has been used, and to be quite honest, with the way the presidency is meant to be used in the Constitution, he can basically do this as long as Congress doesn't have the nuts to do it.
He has a friendly Congress right now, which helps him in a lot. Anyway,
Mhm.
we're going to keep going with this. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, as well as other events and conversations. Again, him tapping in, knowing that that's a way that people see it. I would like the United States to have 50% ownership position in a joint venture. By doing this, we save TikTok, keep it in good hands, and allow it to stay up. He typoed there. With that, would you know this is why he fucking types his own shit?
Well, he doesn't. The blonde chick does.
The blonde chick,
the blonde chick does. Yeah.
But still, without U.S. approval, there is no TikTok. With our approval, it is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions. Therefore, my initial thought is a joint venture between the current owners and or new owners, whereby the U.S. gets a 50% ownership in a joint venture to set up between the U.S. and whichever purchase we so choose. So I'm not a fan of this.
Well, and I also makes it interesting on Nate's comment here. I thought a couple years back, Larry Ellison entered a minority share of TikTok to save it from the last TikTok ban. Am I misremembering? I don't think you are misremembering. I don't entirely remember it myself.
Yeah, I don't remember myself.
And again, that's a minority share, and we mainly want to.
I think the last ban was just, there needs to be an American investment somehow, and that kind of didn't work. The reason I don't like this is because you've been railing against public-private partnerships, right? And that's exactly what this would become. Because the U.S., I don't know if he means U.S. company or U.S. government. It seems like he means government getting involved and owning 50%. So I'm not a fan of that, of the U.S. government getting involved directly with social media.
I don't know if he does mean that.
Well, because he said in potential of new owners and 50% ownership. So does he mean?
I don't think he does mean the government.
I hope not.
I don't think he does mean the government at all, actually. He said and or new owners whereby the U.S. So that's the thing, is it's like new owners. If he does mean the government, he would just say us. To be quite honest.
Maybe. I think the only way I would be comfortable with that, though, is if he tells the CCP they can't have a chair in this. Because if it's 50%, that means he's allowing ByteDance to keep 50% of it.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, they will be banned if we say you can't have 50% of it. It will be 100. They will not allow that to go away. They will not get rid of that grip hold on it. 50%, you can make a deal with them, especially when you have strength in office. But if you say no, we want majority share and you can't have a seat in it, they'll say no. They'll just allow it to go by the wayside.
I'm just curious to see how that negotiation will go. Now, this is obviously a negotiation tactic. Trump's good at these. He's coming in hot. Obviously, I'd imagine Kevin O'Leary's in his ear, kind of like, hey, this is what our group would be willing to do. So this is real interesting, and it's crazy, absolutely fucking crazy that TikTok has this much of an impact.
Which, since you brought up,
Mr.
Wonderful,
it's crazy the impact TikTok has right now. And we'll see. I don't know if you want to. I didn't read this article. I'm a fucking terrible host.
No, you're all good. It's not entirely surprising the impact TikTok has right now. Look, with the things that have come out about Facebook and other social media apps and what they actually do to the brain, and the fact that they're very, very addictive, it's not entirely surprising. This is a whole new territory for people to actually stomp around on and try to figure out. We don't necessarily know what to do about these things because they are as addictive as some of the worst fucking drugs.
See, what's crazy though is because there is some good that comes out of this, right? Because there are people that have started businesses and they have businesses, and I've seen a few of my friends,
Well,
not going
yeah,
to
I
mention
mean,
anyone, but I saw a few of my friends on Facebook flat out being like, "Hey, I joined a group that was like, post addicts trying to lift each other up, and that group has really helped me because we
yes.
share our stories." So, with all social media, there is good that
Yeah.
comes with it, but the brain rot is the negative,
I,
right?
yeah, and that's the thing. It actually just alters your mind
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. Like brain rot is a meme. It's a joke kind of thing, but it can
it's
really fuck
real,
with
man.
you. If people are addicted to these types of things, they can really alter the way that they perceive things
Yeah,
and the way that
scary.
they just go about their normal life.
It's terrifying. It really
So
is terrifying.
yeah, so Kevin O'Leary has revealed he is willing to pay 20 billion to
Whew,
save TikTok,
whew.
which is insane. When asked about a figure for the app, which said to be banned unless sold, he said right now 20 billion is on the table, cash 20 billion, which is I mean, I'm not surprised, dude. You can make a fucking ton of money. Honestly, he's probably lowballing with 20 billion.
Jesus.
So, yeah, Kevin O'Leary coming in trying to do something about this. Like you said, he might actually be involved still in the long run with TikTok. Funny enough, I don't know how much you've seen him talking about trying to make some kind of economic partnership with Canada and the United States, how much he's trying to talk to Trump about that.
Oh,
So
Kevin O'Leary
he's
is
been all over the place.
the thing is, Kevin O'Leary sees a chance to make money,
Hmm.
and he's seen other billionaires scoff at this opportunity.
Hmm.
And in his brain, him and Trump probably go way back. They're both New York moguls.
Yep.
And in his brain, he's probably like, the fuck are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and become a trillionaire if I sit there and I play my cards right. And because Donald Trump, if it's business, you talk business with Trump, he's talking back, right? That's
Hmm.
just kind of how he is.
Hmm.
And he obviously he believes O'Leary's a sensible businessman. We saw O'Leary was at Mar-a-Lago, I think, yesterday. He's going to be at the inauguration.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised if Kevin O'Leary's brought in as like a special advisor, economic advisor, to this, because he's getting very close to the whole situation. But I mean, it's what I do find hilarious. I haven't seen it yet, but they will refuse to. All the leftists are thanking Donald Trump right now. They
Well,
got his app.
some
He
are.
got their app back.
Some are trying to say like this is like a whole thing to make Trump look good, where it's just like, no, I actually think that this is a play in general to try to make Trump look bad by bringing it back, to be completely
Nachi.
honest with you. Because I
Nachi
mean,
plus Kevin is Canadian, basically the
I,
same
I
thing.
I mean, with the way Trudeau was running it, yeah. Uh,
Sorry, Dave. Go ahead. I thought that was
no,
great.
no, you're good, you're good. But what was I gonna say?
About the people, they were saying that it was a ploy for Trump.
Yes, that is a ploy to make Trump look good, which I mean, he looks good in some eyes by bringing it back, right? But in other eyes, and maybe eyes that might be a little more influential, they might be saying that, whoa, 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 China's a genuine enemy. We cannot just have them have this
Yeah.
kind of impact on our nation when we don't have that same impact on their nation. So
Yep.
I think it was a ploy by the administration to really shove this as quick as they can and make Trump make the decision, but I don't think it was to get young people on Trump's side. I don't think that they were trying to do that. And I don't think they really necessarily fucking care because of the numbers of young people voting. It's not really that high. It's just not a thing.
So I want
So,
to quickly jump right here. I'm going to bring us up real quick because I want to answer a question, because I've been seeing on Facebook and other places people questioning, well, why now? Why did the ban happen now? Why is this going on now? And I just want to give a quick explanation, because people don't understand civics. It bothers me. It really fucking bothers me. Okay, so here's why it happened now. And Dave, if you want to jump in at all and correct me, you can.
there you
But
go.
this is what I see it happening now. The reason why it's happening is, number one, we live in a republic, right? Republics move slow. So while this has been on the table since TikTok changed from Musical.ly to TikTok, and when pretty quickly into TikTok's existence, it was found out that it was a Chinese company, ByteDance, and you had people like on the nerdy side, Razorfist was all fucking over this, right? He was talking about it with
Mhm.
Tencent and ByteDance. You had people on the politics side that were very into this, talking about it right away. So it became known that this was a Chinese entity, and we know what Chinese entities are. Where people aren't stupid
Yeah.
in these levers of power. So that's number one. So first off, it's the knowledge of it. They know it's happening. Second, you need to now convince people in Congress that this is worth taking up as a national security risk. Again,
Mhm.
Trump, Biden could have done this as an EO for national security, but it's still a private company, so they might have lost that battle in the Supreme Court, and it would have went nowhere. It would have just made them look bad and would have been a losing battle, because that's not something that you want to do. If you're going to go in with this, you want to make it something that, especially if you're a president, you want your EO to have staying power. So you don't want to do something you think the Supreme Court is just going to rescind. So I really feel like that's why neither Trump nor Biden EO'd it. So now it goes to the hands of Congress. And that's where things get tricky because, like I said, you have to now convince a plurality of both the members of Congress of the House and members of the Senate that this is a national security risk and it's something worth voting for in a bill to ban. And this is a major step. And David, I don't know if you agree with me, how big of a step this is to ban a multi-million-dollar company that is bringing revenue to American citizens. It's not like it's not bringing revenue to Americans. It's bringing a ton of revenue in terms of small business to American citizens. So you're now making the decision to kill companies of Americans that are making their living off of this. So that's another thing. And the biggest factor that I think is the lobbyists needed to get on board because these people don't do anything without the lobbies. And we know it's been found out that Meta was putting a ton of money into lobbying, getting TikTok banned, which isn't surprising. But I just wanted to explain to people that the political will needs to be there for things like this. And with a big, important decision like this, that's going to impact so many lives of Americans, not just for viewing, but in terms, I think it says they have like 7 million small businesses that have been launched out of TikTok. Again, I don't know if that figure's true, but saying that the numbers in the millions is not surprising. So this was a massive decision that I don't think, I know the people in Congress are all pretty much shit, but I don't think they make a decision like this lightly because of what it could do to their getting back into Congress and their constituents' reaction.
Yes.
So that's what I want people that are asking, well, why now? Why couldn't they do it before if it was such a national security risk? There's a lot of factors that go into when and why things happen, and it moves slow for reasons like this. It took a long time to convince a plurality of congressmen and a plurality of senators that this is a national security risk and it is worth banning. And they ultimately did it in a pretty overwhelming manner. I think there was a few free speechers that stayed on, which is fine. It's their prerogative. But in a pretty overwhelming manner, both houses banned this. So I just want to talk about that real quick because I see a bunch of it on my timelines on social media, and it's bothersome that people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Nate G coming in with the comment here. Reminds me of Friday's Timcast. Holy fuck, I don't like Myron, but good on him for standing up to Yamaka Tim and Neocon a lot. Yamaka Tim and Phil is so disappointing. Starting to think Tim has an APAC rep. Here's the thing.
I don't know what happened. Sorry, I can't comment.
I don't know what happened, but I'll say this. Tim has been pretty consistent on his stance on TikTok. I think initially he said that, free speech. And then when he started to see a lot of the anti-Semitic stuff, he was like, he said flat out, he goes, it's going to get banned because of that. Like, that's going to be the main reason. That's why they started to move on it. And now I think he's kind of come over to the fact where it's like, hey, it's national security. There's a lot of bad shit on there and we don't want to give our information. So I don't know. Tim's Tim. And a lot's a lot. Neocons are going to neocon. But I don't think Phil just wants to fight a battle there. I don't think Phil doesn't give a fuck about TikTok, to be quite honest, besides the fact that it's a national security risk. And I think that that's the accurate assertion right now. It's a national security risk. So I think that on its face, it's a good decision to get rid of it. So we could jump back into that. I just wanted to do my quick little aside.
Yeah, I got rid of the article because we pretty much talked about as much you're going to talk about the TikTok ban. And look, I'm not saying that the argument that it should be around because of free speech is a bad one.
No, but it's a legitimate argument.
It's a legitimate argument. And It's a good argument.
Yes.
But when it comes down to it, I don't know. I just don't like giving a foreign adversary the ability to just fucking put in as much information as they can.
And it's our enemy.
Freely.
It's not England. It's not Israel. It's not
what I'm saying.
Canada.
Foreign adversary.
It's not, they're a legitimate enemy. So it would be different if it was like another Western power and we're being a dick to them, even though we should be a dick to them because they suck now too. But still, I don't know. All right. So Dave, this is a fun one. I
Yes.
find this to be hilarious.
Yes. So President Biden decided to
He's such an asshole.
put an amendment into the Constitution on Twitter. And they have ratified it on Twitter. I like the balls to do this, to be quite honest with you.
So the
I also
context-
wonder if it's kind of just like, here, look at this while we do something else kind of thing, kind of a decoy thing to do. Because
this was a failed amendment. This failed to pass through Congress. This failed to get congressional ratification.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's just read this real quick because this is hilarious.
Today, I'm affirming what I have long believed and what 3/4 of the states have ratified. The 28th Amendment is the law of the land, guaranteeing all Americans equal rights and protections under the law, regardless of their sex.
So go to community notes real quick, because community notes is just like, no, dude.
The National Archivist, who is responsible for enrolling new amendments, has stated that the ERA has not been lawfully ratified, citing a legal opinion drafted by the Biden Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel in 2022, confirming this position.
His own executive branch is like, no, dude, you can't do this. And just so the ERA, what it is basically it's affirming all the gender bullshit. That's
Sounds
all
like
it is.
Commie gobbledygook.
That's all it is. But it's quite little. And then President Biden declares, like he just decreed. Like, honestly, more power to you. But it just goes to show they are always doing what they are crowing about, right? Because this is exactly the type of shit they've always been warning Trump's going to do. He's just going to come in and be a dictator. You don't get any more dictatorial than adding an amendment to the Constitution. Like, I'm the king and I made this rule. Like, fuck you. People can now be whatever gender they want. That's honestly what this is. That's what it's affirming. They're trying to make gender as, squirrel kind as a civil rights thing. You can't discriminate against squirrelkin, like whatever the fuck they are. So, Dave, what is your? I love this. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
I think this is hilarious.
It's just silly, and it's pretty funny because everyone just dunked on him for this. Like, that's all that really happened. He just came on to say that. Well, they came on to say this, his team, just to get dunked on for it. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of just like a weird decoy thing while they're doing something else, because this did take a lot of press. Like, this did take a lot of news.
My dumbass representative, Kirsten Gillibrand, jumped on this and was like, great on President Biden. We have a new amendment. And she just got ratioed to death on every platform. She did the same thing and just got destroyed on all platforms. And, it might have been because he did commute another few thousand people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, there was marijuana charges, nonviolent marijuana charges, which was something Trump was doing anyway. So it's kind of like good Biden, I guess. This is the second maybe decent thing he's done in Congress and when he was there. The CHIPS Act was one, and this is the other one. But I don't know. So I want to see what Nate G has to say here. He's filling us in on the Tim Cast drama. It went from TikTok to Israel. Tim, Alad, and Phil started sweeping for Israel. I mean, because I guess they all have Israel derangement system. Same thing Tim says. Tim, Alad, and Phil started sweeping for Israel, trying to red herring without addressing points. Go watch it. It was rough. Even went to sweeping for Elon. I mean, listen, there's no secret that Tim is on the MAGA train. So he is very much on the MAGA and Elon train. But again, we need to remember about Tim Pool. Tim Pool's not a conservative. He's not on the right. This is very clear. So I'm not surprised when Tim Pool kind of goes a little more into these more left-leaning kind of follow the leader type of modes, okay? That's kind of ingrained in leftists and people, he's not a leftist, but people that have been on the left before. When it comes to Alad's a neocon. Neocons are basically centrist, almost left.
I don't even know who Alad is.
Alad Eliyahu is.
I thought it was a misspelling of a name.
No, he's a field reporter for Tim Pool, so he'll probably be at the inauguration. But he's very much a neocon, like a very hardcore, agrees with Bush neocon, Romney.
Oh wow,
McCain type. Yeah, he never grew up. Anyway, and then Phil, I'm not surprised because here's the thing: Phil has been very pro-Israel since the start. So for him to be remaining pro-Israel, I'm not surprised there. Red herring, you can only address so many points when it becomes.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what it was talking about, so I can't. I don't want to comment on it without knowing what was said.
And here's the thing: I probably won't get around to it because I'm still just listening to the Dragon Ball podcast and catching up on it. I have not been.
Move
doing
on to the next
politics.
comment. It was so bad I got into Jake Rattlesnake's live and got him to switch his live to covering the show. That's pretty funny, actually.
That is
that's pretty
amazing.
great.
Squiggles,
And,
what's up, man?
Squiggles? We did not. So I saw a little bit about the Trump meme coin scam.
I didn't know enough about it.
and I didn't look into it at all because I was like, what the fuck? Because like honestly, out of like all things with like Trump, if like being that we're doing a rug pull, even though I'm not even sure because I saw stuff about people making money off of it, and I don't know if it was just the big guys or if it's still a thing. I have no idea what the fuck's going on with that, but it's still shitty.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
have
it's
no
the same
clue.
thing with like the NF because he put out NFTs at one point. It's
He
just like,
did.
what are we doing? Like, and he was talking to crypto people during the campaign, so this is not necessarily surprising. But this is actually one of
Hold
the
on.
things that makes me
But
kind of dislike Trump a little
real
bit.
quick though, real quick. If you buy a meme coin, you deserve everything that comes to you after. Everything
Well,
that comes, if it's not a
look.
legitimate coin and you are buying a
Yeah,
meme
see,
coin,
80% held by insiders.
of
So,
course,
hold up, hold up,
it's a
hold up.
meme
The
coin.
thing is, I agree with the position of like buying Hawk Tuah coin and buying this is retarded, right? But the thing is that the same thing with the snake oil salesman. Like it's
Yes.
the person that gets pulled in. Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten pulled in, but it's still fucking bad to do it. That's the thing. It's still fucking
It's
bad
bad.
to
It
do it.
is
You
shitty.
cannot take the fault away from the person that's
Yeah,
doing it.
oh, of course, it is shitty. And listen, is Trump not a sleazy dude? He is a sleazy dude.
And
Okay,
also,
come on. Like he's
and
a New York City businessman.
yeah,
Okay, like he has a bunch of these failed Trump universities
yeah,
with
but this is
fucking shit ton of
this out
people's
of like
money.
a lot of things probably made me dislike Trump the most out of all things because it's still a shitty thing to do, and I'm almost certain he probably just doesn't care. He just signed off on it, but still, he should care a little bit
This
more
was
about that.
Barron's first bad decision as baby president. Okay,
Yeah,
was doing the meme coin because we know this is Barron.
and Nate's saying Elad sucks. They're proud neocon an idiot. Milo's dumbass destroyed him.
If
Oh my
Milo
god,
destroys you, that's bad.
Milo has been on a rampage recently. It looks like he's on drugs, but he's still funny, so it's good. Nate saying he's with squiggles. I hate Logan for the same bullshit. And says Alex, you're right. You buy that trash, enjoy the loss. Yeah, yeah.
And I just want hold on. I just
Yep.
want him to buy the million bitcoins. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. That would
I
be pretty
mean,
cool.
we'll see. And the Bitcoin thing is going to be an uphill battle because the Fed is already like they said that we can't do this and blah blah. And again, now this is going to take Trump needs to get the political will of Congress and of the Senate to make an amendment to the Fed charter, basically, because Congress is the only one that can make an amendment to the Fed charter. So if Trump can use the bully pulpit to get enough people to convince them, like, hey, this is actually an economic positive to not use this as our basis, but as
Yeah,
a reserve.
but you
Like,
know why though? They want their own digital coin, so they don't want the Bitcoin.
yes.
It's yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, they want that. They've been working on
yeah,
the
CBDC.
CBDC for a
Yeah.
long time now.
Yeah. So that they're never gonna want the fucking Bitcoin. Yeah, Milo calling Dick Master and asking him to move. Yes, I'm pot awful. That was so fucking funny. Because
I
Milo
mean,
didn't know about the Juju the cow story. And when he found out,
I
oh
mean,
man.
the thing it's like, did you watch the video of Milo and Laura Loomer fucking going at it?
I didn't actually watch it. I know
I
about
watched. I found extended versions.
it. Mhm.
It's hilarious, and it's like it's weird because Milo got wrecked, but I just didn't think he wanted to be anywhere near Laura.
Yeah.
I just think because Laura's fucking crazy. But I will say, Laura destroyed him and was like, because she was like, "Listen, talk your shit now," and he
Yeah.
didn't, and he
Yeah.
was just like, "You're crazy." I'm with like he was just pure Milo, just being like, "Get away from me, you peasant."
Yeah.
But like it is like she fucking said to him, she's like, "You're on drugs, and I can't wait till your fucking funeral. Like you're gonna die soon because you're on
Mhm.
drugs." Like it was crazy. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of things have been happening on YouTube, but I don't want to touch on that right
So
now.
Squiggles coming in saying, "I like meme coins, but celebrity coins are literally
Okay, that
trash."
is fair. That is fair.
Yes,
I did
yes,
say
there
it
is a
wrong. I did say
difference.
it wrong, right? There's meme coins and there's shit coins like this, where
Yes.
basically it's a rug pull in the first place. So yeah, meme coins aren't meant to be
But
rug.
even meme coins are NFTs in their own way, right? You don't get a meme coin to make money. You get a meme coin to say you have a meme coin. They really don't make much.
Yeah, at least right now they don't. You know,
They're not going to make
but the
anything.
thing is, you're not going to lose much and you're not going to make much, right? So it
Not
is
like
just
this, where you
yeah,
lose it all because you buy. But
yeah.
here's the thing again, if you are gullible enough to buy a celebrity coin after everything we have seen gone on, then good for you when you lose it all. Okay. I hope no one here bought a Trump coin. I hope no one here bought a Hawk to a coin because it's like, come the fuck on. It's like if you're watching this show, You probably are very untouched and online like we are all the time, right? You should know what's going on. Like if you are going to invest into crypto, look at one of the safer ones, and they are out there. You can find out the information is there on which coins are fairly stable, which coins are predicting, and they're not fucking meme coins. Okay, they are not meme coins. I haven't seen that. I'm going to be watching that. Oh yeah, you could see it, Nate. If I find it, I'll send it over to you. If it's not a frog or a dog, it's not cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's different. Those are here's the thing. There's a difference
Yeah,
between
and he
Pepe and Dogecoin.
and he said,
Those are
yeah,
established coins. Okay, like
Those
those
can
are
actually do
meme
something.
coins. Those are meme coins, but they have a backing, right? Like there is
Mhm.
obviously Elon gives the confidence to Doge, and with
David,
Pepe,
yeah.
it's fucking it's the meme of the right that the right took because people are retarded and tried to make it a hate symbol. So there is something there for both of those. There is substance to them. Nate, you saying most meme coins don't make shit, but a few have been lotto ticket just gambling. It is true. It is true. Squiggle saying I fully believe Doge is going to $5. It could.
I should
It could.
actually put some money in Doge. I have.
With the establishment of like we're gonna hear Doge in the news at nauseum more than we have already. Because for at least 2 years, right? Because Doge goes away after 2 years. So get it while it's hot. 2 years is going to be the time where the Dogecoin goes up. Even though Elon is not going to be able to promote it again because I feel like that would go against his special seat, but I digress with that.
Yeah.
But what do you got? So I think this. So again,
Yeah,
amendment by decree,
this is
fucking
good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Do it again, Biden.
So we're going to move into even more stuff happening before Trump's getting to office.
Yes.
President-elect Trump tells FBI bureaucrats to prepare for investigations over racist DEI programs because the FBI closed their DEI office in December. Agency says President-elect Trump will take office on Monday. So he's basically saying, don't shred shit. Do not get rid of any of your records.
Again, does he have the authority? Does the FBI have to listen to him as the president-elect?
Technically, I would say no. But the way things have been running, he's basically look.
Well, there can be retribution if they don't, right? When he gets in office, he could definitely retribution if they don't.
Yeah.
So, but technically, they don't have to.
Look, and the thing is, like, I listen to Carl a whole bunch, but
yes,
he has basically said that like this win and the way everyone's been coming to Trump and basically either asking for forgiveness or basically trying to sucker up to him and everything like that. It is like a king literally came back.
Yes,
in order to take his throne,
which is terrifying. Some ways it's terrifying because this is like that white strong man.
No, but not when it's him, right? Because he hasn't done anything to show that he's going to be anything other than that, right?
Yes.
So, but that's the thing. And look, you could say it's terrifying. We lived under that already. We already did. We already lived under the all power for the last 4 years. We just have. So we can't act like it's terrifying now that we actually have power that can do some good for the country.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they actually don't shred things. Wouldn't be surprised if they do. They probably are.
There's going to be things missing. I don't think they're going to shred everything, but there's going to be like Peter Strzok's file somehow went missing. You know what I mean? Like there will be those missing things that they just won't get back. We're not going to get the full story.
And just like everything else, them taking steps to close the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, sure, sounds good. Do I actually think that matters in any kind of sense? No. We brought up Kirsha before. We brought up the bridge and everything like that. She's done a great fucking job with that stuff.
Incredible with that.
Other people have done good jobs with that stuff, but they have tried to make DEI so ingrained in everything that they don't need the office anymore. So you can take this as a win. Sure, things still need to change.
But also, where did those people go, right? Because it's government. The office is gone, but the people that worked in the office probably aren't gone. So it's
they're
like
just going to go wherever.
They're going to go to different spots. So it's still going to be ingrained. And those are still going to be the people that used to work at the DEI office. You have a bunch of tattletales fucking hanging out. Yeah. Like, that's all it is. You have a ton of tattletales.
Yeah.
I want to get to a few comments here.
Yes, go ahead.
Nate saying if Elon falls out with MAGA, might plummet. I can't see the fallout. People are trying to make it happen. I think Elon and
Elon's spurging out a bit, but I don't think they'll fall out.
But Elon's not a part of the government. People need to get this fucking thing out of their head. He is a advisory position, okay? Squiggle saying they better. Squiggle saying Doge is bigger than Elon now. It might be bigger than Elon, but if Elon gives it confidence again, if Elon says something again, it will go up again. He's not all Doge now, but his word does happen. If Elon came out and said, "Hey, I don't believe in Dogecoin anymore. It's shit," it will hurt it. Okay, it definitely will hurt it. Nate might be saying you might be right. I'm purely speculating. I only really closely follow traditional finance and equity. Honestly, have you
Yes.
guys, Squiggle saying,
Yes.
have you guys seen Elon is a fake gamer story? And
Yes,
Squiggle
and
saying
yet
he just
again,
burned all the good faith he had
yes.
in the gaming community. Is
And
that
the
what
thing
him
is,
and Demian going back and forth? And
no, not Endymion, him and Asmongold. So,
Asmongold, that's it.
the
I
thing
mixed them both up.
is the fact of the matter is that Elon, at least it seems like, very, very much seems like that he lied about how he got up and Path of Exiles and stuff like that. Someone else must have been playing for him. But the thing is that and just said instead of saying like he has someone else playing for him and just saying like, look, I do play games, but I don't have time because like there are times where he actually does seem like he does play games, but maybe he's not as good as he said he was.
Probably
So
not.
because he said he was like up there and he's gloating about that stuff. But if you're gonna do that, you have to actually look like you're fucking good at the game. But like I didn't watch him playing Path of Exile 2, but Disparu did watch a little bit of it, and he's doing things in such an inefficient manner that if he were to do that, he would not be able to get up to where he's supposed to be on the scoreboard.
Now, what if he just was so bad, but he just grinded and grinded and
No,
grinded and
no,
grinded?
you wouldn't be able to do
Not
it. On Path of
possible. I've
Exile.
never
No,
played the game, so
you
I
would
don't know
not be
what
able
the
to do
game.
it on there. So yeah, no, he is a cheater, 110%. He has someone else
Squiggle saying
playing
he's a
for
cheater,
him.
plain and simple. Yeah,
But like I said, if he had just said he has someone else playing for him, like it becomes not that big of a deal. It becomes like an issue, like, oh, that fucking sucks, because he talked all that shit. But there you go. He admitted today that he pays for boosting. So there you go.
Here's the thing, guys.
But the
and
thing
here's
is, he spurred the fuck out. That's the issue. And Elon's now down to twice, and he is an artist, so it's expected.
It doesn't matter. Okay. The news cycle goes so fast. Number one, Elon puts out so many fucking posts about so many different things. And if he does something good again, it will go away. The gaming community
in some
won't give a
ways,
shit.
in some ways, right? But the thing is, and this is the thing though with Elon.
I don't like the boast, but yes, I was right about it.
This is the thing though with Elon, and as he's shown this yet again twice now, where he spurgs the fuck out. Asmongold's check mark went away for a good bit of time while him and Asmongold were fighting.
He's Dorsey.
Yeah. So the thing is that like you can't really have that as someone who's supposed to be a leader, right? You can't necessarily have that. Like he's cool for other things, fine, but you can't have someone that just goes overly crazy on Twitter and then decides to do whatever he wants.
Like I said, good Elon, bad Elon.
Yeah.
Like that's really what you take the good with the bad. Like whether you like him or not, the man's going to go down as one of the greatest inventors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like the way he's pushed the space program is amazing. But he's on the left, everybody. Okay?
Yeah.
He's on, and he obviously doesn't believe in free speech.
And I will say this, him spurging out like that does show he is a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Nerds do that all the fucking time.
And here's the thing. Do I think that Elon was probably a gamer back in his day? I think he was because he's an author.
He might even still step on from time to time, but he's nowhere near as good as he says he is.
No. But the thing is, he was trying to be hip. He was trying to be cool. He was trying to be Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is supposed to be good at everything. That's what he tries to portray himself as. And I mean, listen, we find out all of our heroes, their capes have tears in them, right? Mr. Beast is a fucking terrible human. We found that out.
Well, that's the Antichrist. Mr. Beast is the Antichrist.
Apparently, Mr. Beast also wants to get in on trying to buy TikTok as well.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know. He's the Antichrist, so doesn't matter to me.
That would be interesting. I mean, this Pope might be the Antichrist, though.
No, it's Mr. Beast.
Let's see.
Can't have a smile like that.
I respect Elon again if he could beat me in UFC 5. Really, listen, autists are usually good at one thing, so maybe UFC is like his game.
That'd be pretty fun.
If he comes in there and just fucking wrecks Nate. It'll be like, what was it? Did anybody watch Entourage where Turtle thinks he's good at the boxing game and he goes to like a fight night thing and the little kid just fucking wrecks him at a professional tournament?
It's fucking great.
All right, so Dave,
real quick.
Yep, this
real
is a good
quick.
One. This is a positive. Absolutely.
Yes. Pete Hegseth is reportedly has the votes to be confirmed as Secretary of Defense. This is big because Hegseth is one of the toughest ones to get through from all the people.
The toughest. He was the measuring.
Was he? Okay.
100%.
So, but he's the toughest one for the cabinet to go through for Trump. So if he's going to be able to get in, everyone else is going to be able to get in. We'll be able to have the team that we kind of wanted in the
Yes.
cabinet.
So our guest last week, Mike Marshall, was in the know in a lot of this stuff because again, he worked for James O'Keefe, currently working for Scott Pressler, knows a lot of the people and things moving and shaking in Washington. And when I was talking to him, he said flat out that Pete Hegseth was by far the hardest one to get through. And if he can get through, everyone, they already said RFK and Tulsi are good. And that doesn't leave anybody else, right? You're not going to say no to Pam Bondi. You're not going to say no to Marco Rubio. You're not going to say no to all these other people. So I'm surprised that him and his Nazi tattoos, aka the four crosses, which is a very religious thing, but these fucking idiots don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I'm happy that Pete's able to get in. I saw some highlights, and he, did great. Was very cool, was very calm, was talking about his mission and kind of stayed to it. Like, my job as Secretary of Defense is to make sure we are wartime ready, that we are the greatest killing force on the planet, and that when we are called, we are going. Period. And he was really good about that. He talked about, women shouldn't be in combat positions, and there should be no trans people in combat in the military, period. We're not going to pay for that. So he stuck to his guns. He was very much, he didn't bend and fold to the will of the people that were talking to him. And God, there was one video that I will not subject anybody to, but the screeching fucking hens of Congress, of the Senate.
Oh, dude, his head in the middle of the four.
Oh my God, the screeching hens. What was it? Elizabeth Warren. It was fucking Kirsten Gillibrand. And don't find it. I don't want to see it. We should not subject
the Hawaiian
anybody
chick
to that.
And someone else.
That's not Macy Hirono. Macy Hirono is a fucking congresswoman. But oh my God, it was awful. And then his head in the middle, like, I felt bad for him. I felt bad. But anyway, but he did a great job. He did a great job. Squiggles saying, I want to see him play World of Warcraft hardcore.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. No, you want to test him and see if he's a fucking gamer, make him play StarCraft and see if he's good at StarCraft.
I think
StarCraft started it all.
Play StarCraft.
He also said he fucking got to wherever he got.
Exactly. No, I know that. No, I know.
StarCraft is, everyone loves Warcraft. StarCraft's where it started, damn it. And Squiggles all saying the only way he can redeem himself. So you know how he can redeem himself? If Doge is actually effective in doing things. Okay. That is to me. I don't give a fuck about all this other stuff. If he can sit there and just expose all of the waste. Now, is it going to get removed? Guys, I hate to break it to you. The government's going to get bigger. Okay. The government always gets bigger. But as long as him and Vivek do their job of exposing all the bullshit, I'll be happy, to be quite honest, because what we've seen is that the American people with more information are starting to use our power of X and Facebook and really starting to do that. Squiggle saying I missed the RTS games and I wish that was bigger. I mean, trends, Squiggles, there's a chance that we might see something like that again.
You have an attention span for that. Squiggles, and you can't make games for people now. And attention span.
You know what's funny? I've talked about how I have Crash, and my younger daughter, she's 4, she's not really into it. My oldest one, she's playing a ton of CTR, and she is grinding. Happily grinding, getting significantly better at the game. Like, she needs help sometimes, but like, she used to race and like hit the walls, go the wrong way. Now she's racing. Like, she'll win a good amount. Don't get me wrong, it's not on like mega hard, it's on easy.
Yeah.
But it's still tough for a 6-year-old. Like, I remember playing Sonic and breaking every fucking Sega controller I ever owned. But she plays the old school Crash, which is really hard. Crash 1's fucking difficult. But thank you, Dave. But no. And so I will say, even these kids that have attention spans of nil, when you still put a fucking entertaining old school game in front of them, it catches them and they play it. They will grind. So
yeah, but it's different than like real time strategy. And the thing is, she's still not, on TikTok or stuff like that, where your attention span shortens. I'm just saying that shortens your attention span.
It is true, but she is started on they have her on a laptop doing work in 1st grade.
Yeah,
I fucking hate that. Anyway, Nate G saying Stellaris Civilization top tier, absolutely. Squiggles McJr. Red Alert 2 and Tiberian Sun were my RTS favorites. Like, you're mentioning fucking classics there, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't played Red Alert. I haven't played either of those.
I'm pretty sure Steam has them all in their classic section that they were trying to reserve. So if you want to go play them, they're still there. If you have Steam, so go for it.
Anyway, good. So we'll move on
Yes.
to. There's been a couple truths that we're going to look at. I hate saying that.
I was gonna say your favorite term. You
Anyway.
want me to read it since it hurts you so much?
No, it's fine. So Trump put out, this is an actually very big announcement. For far too long, we have relied on taxing our great people using the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, the system everyone loves. Through soft and pathetically weak trade agreements, the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world while taxing ourselves. It is time for that to change. I am today announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenue
He's
that comes
such a
from foreign
basic bitch.
sources. We will begin charging those that make money off of us with trade, and they will start paying, finally, their fair share. January 20th, 2025 will be the birth date of the External Revenue Service, Make America Great Again.
How do you feel? I know how I feel. How do you feel about this?
I don't know. I think it is. So if it is a move to try to transition from actually taxing people, that's insane. But it's a fucking bold move if that's what you're actually doing. But I am worried that it just becomes another thing on government that cannot be taken away instead of doing, let's say he's actually trying to take income tax away and just doing that. But if he's not able to do that in his term, then we're kind of stuck with that, right? And we're stuck with both of them.
I am very against Republicans making government bigger and adding going to be a massive bureau, massive part is not something I'm happy about. Like the ERS in concept, it could be cool. It's just a mob boss fucking shaking people down. That's all the ERS is. He's going to be sending American agents, which are going to be fucking packing heat, basically military people, to go to these people and say, pay up or I'm going to Sylvester Stallone you and break your fucking finger from Rocky. Like, I don't know how. I don't like the idea of making this bigger. The president is the lead diplomat. We have diplomats in other countries that are supposed to be doing this. Your diplomats in your other countries are supposed to be talking to their fellow diplomats and foreign leaders to advocate for the president's mission. So this is kind of now adding muscle, I guess, to that. Because what are they going to do? Send these ERS agents to go with the diplomats, to go to the leader, and what the fuck are they going to do different? That's going to be my thing. How are they going to collect? What is going to be the powers that is going to collect different than what we do now? I'm not a fan of expanding government. Maybe if he does eliminate the IRS and this kind of replaces it, maybe. But I just don't understand what are we going to do? Threaten war to everybody, which Trump may do. But what's he going to do? That's what the fuck is the ERS? How are they going to come and collect?
It's like I said, it's interesting. It is very interesting because, like I said, you don't necessarily announce this unless you're kind of expecting to get rid of the IRS or get rid of a lot of the taxes, right?
Hopefully.
That would be the point of this. That would be the way he was speaking during the campaign, and the way he was speaking about tariffs, about all these things, was that we can get rid of taxing our people if we actually collect the money we're supposed to collect. And
maybe he's going to back off tariffs a little bit because of this.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of him saying all that shit during the campaign. And that's him building that up during the campaign and then announcing this. That baseline of doing that makes this better to me because, like you said, it's not good to increase the government, right? But if you are going to take away something that is actively taking as much of a paycheck out of people's hands as much as they fucking can, and you're going to actually be able to shrink that, if not actually eliminate it completely by adding something that is working on other countries instead, then I can see the vision there. Now, will it work out? I don't know. Like I said, he has 4 years. It's difficult.
I'm just trying to figure out, though, like, in my head, I'm trying to figure out, like, what are they going to do? Like, the diplomat's going to be like, hey, the ERS is going to be on your doorstep if you don't fucking do what we want you to do.
You have a decision to make, yeah.
You have a decision. And then all of a sudden, what is it going to be? Fucking guys strapped to the teeth with ERS on their back showing up like, hey.
The thing is.
Pay up or we're taking your daughter.
The thing is.
What the fuck is
the government makes you pay money basically at the barrel of a gun, right?
Yes.
What's the difference with doing that to an external source instead of an internal source?
It'd be hilarious if Trump like arrests world leaders and extradites them back in here because they didn't
Well,
pay
he
their
won't even
fucking
do
debt.
that. It's just like, dude, we will fucking cripple you. We will cripple you. That's the argument here.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I might actually sign up to go work for the IRS because I just want to be sent to foreign countries to be like the guy that like is just like pay up or else. And then they'll be like, what else are you gonna do? It's like Trump sent me. Fuck, we're gonna pay.
Mhm.
That's all it's like. So Nate, you with a few comments. If he said I'm shrinking the IRS by 90% and converting it to the ERS, maybe, like David just said. Nate G, I work in sales. My incentives are taxed by 39%. Fuck the IRS. I don't disagree. Fuck the
Yeah.
IRS.
Yeah. And
A
you
flat
missed the
tax is in need.
he's saying Red Alert 2
Oh,
and
yes.
Tiberius were free at one point, which I hope they still are actually. And he said he's excited about the ERS. Yeah, like I said, he was building up to something like this, right?
Yes, something like this. In this manner.
So I don't know. Like
This
I
is
said,
kind of the trust in Trump moment, I guess, right? Like you got to trust in him to do what you elected him to do.
exactly. It's a difficult thing to do, but out of anyone recently to swing stupid shit like this, it could be him. It could be him.
And just the threat of it too, right? Just the threat of the ERS agent's going to be on your doorstep. Like
Yeah.
that might, I don't know. We'll see how he does it. I've never heard of a country openly sending fucking hitmen to go and collect. Like this is the first time I've heard the country run like a mafia. Like honestly, like openly being a fucking mob yakuza. And maybe he's like, hey, this is what China's gonna fucking understand. Like, like muscle. Like what if he sits there and just goes to Triple H and is like, hey, I'm gonna need to borrow Roman Reigns, Brandy Orton. Like they are gonna be my ERS people.
Why would he have
and I'm gonna
them?
send fucking
Why would he have that?
because they're just big and strong. Like,
I hate you. Anyway, Nate
could you imagine just sending Roman Reigns in like a shield outfit, but with ERS on the back
Oh my
instead?
God. Nate's saying he consistently hits on 15 and 25% of investments. They want most of that too. Yeah, they want most of everything.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate it when I was in construction in the union, and I would just see everything fucking taken
I
out.
see
Like
so
you
much
get
of
like
my money
half. You
leaving.
get half.
So much of my money leaving. Squiggle's saying he will use tariffs to take dollars out of their economy. It's a whole trade deficit play. Yeah, that's what it is.
And we'll see. And maybe he just believes that by having an enforcement arm of the things that he's saying economically will help.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's dude, this is gonna be wild because maybe he just puts an ERS agent in every fucking embassy. And they could just go and they'll be with the lead diplomat. And whenever anything economic comes up, the diplomat has a meeting with the world leader and the ERS agent's just standing there like that fucking, what was it? What was he like? The Muslim guy, the meme where he's just standing there looking mean. He's just mean mugging. He's like a security officer or like a prince or something like that.
Yeah,
a Saudi Arabian prince.
Yeah.
Like he's just mean mugging and it's fucking fantastic. It's a meme. They're going to be that guy.
All right. So we'll move on from the ERS. Like I said, interesting concept.
Very.
And especially if it's actually getting rid of the IRS and some kind of like that's fucking huge. That's
If
like
he
a
cuts an
genuine
agency to add one that
dividend.
potentially will be a net positive, then I'm okay with it. But if they
Yeah.
both exist, I hate it.
That's the thing.
because
I
it's
just don't
adding.
think that they're meant to both exist. But either way.
Yes.
So we'll move on to another post by Trump.
This was on the 15th. This was 4 days ago. He posted this one.
This epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of our historic victory in November.
Real
As a
quick.
signal-
Could you imagine being the blonde and typing and going, this needs to be in caps, epic. Make sure that's caps. Like
You might already know to do it at this point
just maybe
she's
the way
typed
he
it
says
so
it.
Yeah. As a signal to the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies. I am thrilled American and Israeli hostages will be returning home to be reunited with their families and loved ones. With this deal in place, my national security team, through the efforts of Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will continue to work closely with Israel and our allies to make sure Gaza never again becomes a terrorist safe haven. We will continue promoting peace through strength throughout the region as we build upon the momentum of the ceasefire to further expand the historic Abraham Accords. This is only the beginning of great things to come for America and indeed the world. We have achieved so much without even being in the White House. Just imagine all the wonderful things that will happen when I return to the White House and my administration is fully confirmed so they can secure more victories for the United States. So I think what happened here,
He means business.
I think what happened here is Trump met up with whoever was going to communicate for Hamas and for Palestine and said, look, whatever Israel is doing to you, whatever you're afraid of what they're doing to you, we're going to do it to you 20 times worse. So we need to get this deal done. And then he went to BB and he said, look, they're going to agree to this because we're just going to fucking outright obliterate them. And you need to stop your shit as well. And I think that's what he basically did.
I honestly think he probably went to Iran because Iran's the key of this, and probably said to Iran, I'm not Bush. I'm not Obama. I'm not going to hold back. If you don't stop
it'll
this,
be legitimate shock and all.
if you don't stop this, I will kill you. I won't kill your people. I will go directly to you and I will find you, and I will not stop until I find you and all your people and your family. Because again, we have that epic story of when he met with Hamas in his first term. He just walked out of the room after
it wasn't Hamas, it was like Taliban or
was
ISIS.
it was the Taliban. We just slid across a picture of the fucking guy's home and walked out. And the guy's like, what does this mean? And it's like, that is the type of shit that they believe him when he says it. And the thing is why they believe him in the Middle East, because he did it with ISIS, because he just let the military go and say, hey, get rid of ISIS, do what you need to do. Period. Like, I don't think Trump gets in the way. I think when he gives the military a mission, which is something our father has said to us our whole lives, right, Dave? When our military is given free reign to do their job, we lose very little people and they do their job very well and efficiently. And I think Trump believes in that. And we saw that happen with ISIS. Would it take maybe 2 months to fully get ISIS the fuck out of there? It was like the first 2 months of his administration. And he said they're obliterated. And even to this day, we hear about them, but they have no actual power. They have no actual territory. So I think he probably uses that as an example too. He probably is like, hey, look at what we did with ISIS. We'll do it twice as bad as you. Yeah. They still exist. You won't. You know, like, and there's credence to the things when he says that. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Nate's saying, if they turn the right to censor into the ERS, I'm good. That's pretty great. That's pretty
fucking
funny.
Stephen Richards needs to go over there and lead the ERS. Hey, the Stevie kick will fucking you send Stephen Richards over there and he fucking does the Stephen kick to a world leader on TikTok. That would be epic. Full circle, baby. Full circle.
But this is huge, especially because this has been a big thing. Everyone wants the ceasefire agreement to happen in some type of way, and then Trump's just like, yeah, no, I'm here. We're going to stop this. You guys need to fucking stop.
What's wild is already promises made, promises kept, right? He said flat out, I will have these wars ended by day one.
And he said this earlier.
This war
is starting to come out today. 3 wonderful young women.
This war is going to be, for all intents and purposes, done by tomorrow. The hostages are coming out. Like, for all intents and purposes, going to be done by tomorrow. And I'm excited to see what happens with Ukraine, because he's moving in on Gaza. Israel is our direct ally. I think in his eyes, Israel's priority number one. We need to keep our relationship with Israel. He's a strong advocate for Israel. He always has been. He moved the fucking embassy to Jerusalem. Okay. And then I think Ukraine's priority number two, and I can't wait to see what he does, because he's going to walk in tomorrow. He said he has 100 EOs he's going to sign, which I hate the fact that he's assigning 100 EOs, but that's become the norm, right? But I guarantee by the end of tomorrow, we're going to have either a truth or a big announcement about what's happening over with Ukraine and Russia, which has been by the wayside, right? We don't hear shit about it anymore.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything about Ukraine and Russia because they both have shut the fuck up. Because Trump's coming in. Zelensky just quietly asked Biden for more money. He doesn't make these big shows of it. Biden gives it to him. But like, even Putin, have we heard a threat from Putin in a month? Since he won, since Trump won, have we really heard anything from Putin? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I firmly believe they're going to come in and they're going to say, hey, the Donbass is Russia's. Russia's not getting Crimea. They are officially pulling out. The war's over. I really feel like we're going to get that. The war is over. They've agreed to this and that. Ukraine will not become a NATO country. That is not happening. And I think Trump will put in there, if NATO goes ahead to make them a member nation, America will pull out of NATO. I really feel like that's what's going to be like the dick on the table type of thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Trump is a fan of the big ask, right? It's what he does, and like he's pulled through in some of those big ones. So you never know what he's actually going to do.
Crazy, but yeah, I think we'll probably get an announcement about that war, because he's already basically, for all intents and purposes, said this war is over. Right, the ceasefire is there. And again, they need to hit certain things, similar to the Taliban. Hamas needs to do certain things. And I think as of yesterday, Apparently, they didn't hit one of the things, and then like an hour later, it's like they hit it. Like they are not fucking around. And and remember, U.S. military is on the ground there. We are in that war. We are there. So special forces are there. So if Trump tomorrow says, "Hey, they haven't done their part, go kill X, Y, and Z," they're going to go do it. So it's just what's going on. So it's exciting for that. Nate G saying Stephen Richards YouTube is phenomenal. I've never seen it, but I can imagine it would. He was incredibly entertaining and a solid jobber. That was like a jobber you enjoyed whenever he came out. Squiggles McJr. saying, I hope so. Me too. Hey, listen, we can only put our faith in the guy we all voted for, right? At this point, we can criticize him when needed to, but this is good Trump right here. This is very good Trump. Dave, will you get a truth? It's embarrassing seeing your screen.
Shut up. Anyway,
you piece of shit.
We are going to move on from politics, even though there's still a lot happening, but we're going to move on from politics.
We're done politicking.
Yes. Into a huge announcement, actually, even though it's been kind of predicated by a bunch of leaks.
We were wrong, by the way, both thinking that it wasn't going to happen.
Nate the Hate was right. Nate the Hate was right. Give him his credit.
Nate the Hate was right. Dextero had a good report on it. Their source was good.
Yes. But Nintendo Switch 2, the first look trailer just popped up on Thursday, like 7 a.m. So, and here it is. Hopefully we don't get hit by this. Nintendo's kind of hell. But
yeah, we'll see.
Have you seen this yet?
I saw most of it because it was on Instagram.
I want to know what you think when it's done, because it is interesting. A lot of people are talking about it.
I already know one drawback. There's already one drawback that I saw.
What is that?
It's popping out.
What?
The fucking ports. You have to, I know it's magnetized, but to have to plug in the fucking things on the side, that is breakability to the highest extent.
I understand that, but the thing is, like, that was also thought of as an issue with sliding them in, and Nintendo found a way to make that work. So I kind of, when it comes to that, I kind of trust Nintendo on it, because I think they really fucking tried that shit out.
I hope it's going to be a soft port where the magnetism takes control more.
Yeah.
I hope that it's like a port, but it's a soft port where the magnetism keeps it in place.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting design.
You know, I'm looking at it, and it's like there's not much difference, right?
Also, I don't know if you know this. What they're showing off here is using the Joy-Cons as a mouse.
Yes, I saw that, which is pretty fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, that's actually a really crazy good idea.
But again, it's Nintendo going forward, right? Doing things that we've never seen before. And again, they have their straps there, which is a Wii thing that they've kept on, they've kept doing.
Yeah.
And again, it's a bigger screen, a good amount bigger too. And it's going to have a much better looking screen.
Yes. And the thing is with this, and I believe I don't think all like the also new Mario Kart, obviously.
Yeah, I love that they announced this together with it.
Yes. But I mean, it's not a full announcement of that Mario Kart, but obviously you're getting a new Mario Kart. I think it showed it's 24 possible starters, which is insane. 24 people on the same race.
Yep.
Donkey Kong's look has changed back to original Donkey Kong. I don't know if you realize that.
I saw that.
It's not rare Donkey Kong anymore.
If you want to go back to show it again, if you want to look real quick, because he's in there.
Find him.
It's in the first clip here. You can kind of get a glimpse of him.
Look at his dumb looking face. There he is.
It's a me. Hold on, we're blocking it.
Oh shit! Move us. Move us.
Customize. There you go.
So, yeah, here's Donkey Kong's look. Old look, actually. This is an original look for him.
Whatever the fuck his noise used to be. It sounds kind of like a seal.
Yeah, but the rare Donkey Kong is apparently done. At least according to this. I mean, that might be a placeholder. We don't know.
It'll be a DLC.
Maybe, or just a skin kind of thing.
A skin. They might, DLC skin they might do, like, because that, and people will have some nostalgia for it.
The designs are a little different of almost everyone, though, because he looks like a little shorter, a little scrumpier, a little bit.
It looks like they're going back to a little more of a classical look that you saw from kind of like, because Mario kind of looks like 64 Mario right there. Like, honestly, that might be Mario 64, Galaxy Mario type of look. Well, he was definitely a little scrumpier.
But yeah, this is a big announcement. I believe my goodness, I cannot think of it right now. The hardware What it actually can do has not been announced yet. We don't know that yet. We're going to get more info in April. I believe it's April 2nd. About everything about Nintendo's Switch 2. And I'm interested to see, because as long as the processing power is good enough to be able to actually play a lot of the games on there, then it's a real reason to go get a Nintendo Switch 2, especially because, it's backwards compatible and everything. So this is a huge drop. Just the first look, just to see what it's going to be like. But they have a grip on what's going on.
The biggest issue is they've never had the success with being able to be the high end, right? Like with being able to play a majority of games.
I don't care how big the screen is. Hold Game Freak to a damn standard. Yeah,
it's true.
But,
yes.
Yeah.
Game Freak does whatever the fuck they want.
That's
but
difficult.
But the thing is, it's like that's where they've been their biggest struggle. They play their games beautifully, right? Nintendo games on these consoles have been great, but that was big. The Wii U was a major fail for that because they wanted the Wii U to be able to step in and play some of those games that they really couldn't play, and they never play well. So we'll see if they've actually stepped up in the hardware department. Now, again, it's difficult because that's the whole console. What you're seeing is everything. So all the power needs to be in there. And that's not easy. It's a lot to compact in there. We see the size of the fucking Xboxes, and even when they compact down, it's a lot bigger than these. So, I mean, we'll see. Listen, Nintendo's doing it again. Using those things as a mouse is fucking revolutionary.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I will say
it's cool. Being able to have the screens and things like that, like it's really good. You can obviously plug it into your TV still, like you said, fully backwards compatible. So there's a lot of good.
There's an asterisk on some things that might not be backwards compatible, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a small volume of the library and not like a lot of games. I think it'll be a certain amount of games that are not playable.
Which is great. Which is honestly great to see. But yeah, overall, it's a positive. I think it looks good. I think it looks as good as you'd want it to look, right? Like it's they didn't reinvent the wheel. I don't think it's only going to be in black. I think you'll be able to get some more colors and stuff like that. I think it eventually will come in more colors.
Yes.
So I think this is a good announcement. I'm happy that they announced it now early in the year because I think this is going to give them, a good leg up to have a full year of sales, and then they can make a major Christmas announcement with games. Like, I'm curious if where Zelda's going to come in with this, because there was rumors that Zelda might be accompanying the Switch 2, a new Zelda game.
It's interesting what could come out with it. Like I said, Mario Kart looking like that's going to come out with it, which is fucking huge because Mario Kart 8 is one of the top selling games of all time. So another Mario Kart coming out
it gives you motivation about it. Listen, I know when I tell my wife, Julie, like, hey, the Switch 2 is expensive, but it comes with a brand new Mario Kart, there's a real good chance she's going to be like, yeah, let's do this. So it's going to be fun. This is going to sell like hotcakes.
Yes.
I think it's going to sell a ton, and they're going to have very much success with this.
The one thing that is interesting is how much have they fixed drifting with Joy-Cons, because that was one of the issues that you got with Joy-Cons. They started drifting, and then they weren't usable anymore. So I wonder how much they really paid attention to that. And, there's other things that you kind of want to learn about the console to see how much of an upgrade they've actually put into this thing. Because it might have been big, to be quite honest with you. They've had the time to do it. But this is the announcement on Thursday. Nate the Hate got it completely right. Good on him. That's fucking awesome. I mean, he's been pretty credible on a bunch of things. But still, with Nintendo, it's just like, I don't know. But that's awesome. Good for him.
No. But it's going to be good, and we'll keep up on this when we get kind of specs and things like that about it. We'll talk about what it can do and things like that.
Yes. So our final topic of the night is a pretty interesting one.
It terrifies me. I'm not gonna lie.
The new Daredevil trailer, Daredevil Born Again from Marvel Studios. Now, I will say this: I actually didn't watch the original Daredevil season. Series.
Go back and watch it.
I've heard it's fantastic,
and it's on D+.
One of the best stuff Marvel's ever done, which I need to watch it. I'm actually
so good.
Speaking of heroes and villains and stuff like that, I'm finishing Penguin soon. That's been really good. But I do need to go back and watch Daredevil. But let's watch this trailer because I've seen some clips of it. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty decent. At least that's
I'm
what
not
I
gonna
think.
lie. The reason why I watched this is because I watched Nerdrotic's fucking reaction to it,
Yeah, that's fair.
and that's what made me be like, okay, Gary thinks it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I like Gary's opinions for most things. I disagree with some, but for the most part, when it's come to D plus stuff, I've been pretty on board with him.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding the time. Oh, I will.
Now, one of the issues with this is that even though, we might have not have watched it, but, we both watch a bunch of Nerdrotic, FNT, Geeks and Gamers.
Echo
We
and
watch
shit
all
like
of them.
that.
Yeah, we catch up with all of them. But Kingpin has kind of looked like a bitch recently. Not kind of. He's actually looked like
He's
a bitch.
look
recently.
like a big bitch.
But the one saving grace that they have is that people haven't watched those fucking shows. So they have that saving grace for him.
And they left the possibility of him not dying because they moved away from the fucking kill shot at the end of Echo. Well,
he didn't die. He didn't die in Echo. She left him crying. That's all it was. She left him like crying. That was it. So it's dumb. But anyway,
let's keep going here.
Will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world. I can say the same about you.
Seeing his crew with him is so nice because initially, and this is, reported a while back, they were basically going to do fucking Harvey Birdman with Daredevil and just make it a fucking law drama. A Daredevil, basically law drama. And Foggy wasn't going to be in it. Like no one else but Matt Murdock was going to be in it. So happy that went away. And the crew is back, which was, Dave, when I tell you go back and watch the first 3 seasons, because they are all so integral and important.
Nate saying it was so good. Best fight scene I've ever watched was Daredevil versus 8 henchmen in a hallway, which I've heard that brought up. I've heard that brought up by other people.
So here's the thing.
They don't count about Kingpin. Fair enough.
So here's the thing. You want to take kind of any of like the Matrix scenes where he's the Matrix scene where he's in the hallway fighting the Mr. Smiths and shit like that.
Yeah.
And some of them, and just multiply it. And that's the fucking hallway scene. Yeah. It's so good.
I have to go back and watch it. And I can. I mean, it's not hard to find.
Binge the fuck out of it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
The mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced. Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system. Why did you stop being a vigilante? The line was crossed. It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
Well, good.
This city can't go unchecked. Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign. Mind putting the hatchet down? I was raised to believe in grace.
Well, real quick, pause. That chubby kid was James Gandolfini's son walking.
Oh, really?
That's James Gandolfini's son.
That's pretty funny. And I mean, so far it looks good.
But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Very good. So this is looking to be based off a storyline in more of the recent comics. That was actually one of the better ones that I did want to pick up. It was a Daredevil line about him basically coming back into being a vigilante as he stepped away. And it's really good. What I like that Marvel has done consistently is that they've always been in tune with the ones that they show that are billionaires eventually rise to power in some sort of political way, right? Kingpin, the mayor, Norman Osborn, rises to become the fucking president, right? At some point, like in some of the lines. So they've constantly kept that, but it makes sense, right? Kingpin's an evil guy. He's a evil businessman, but
And
he's only evil and an evildoer to those fighting crime. The rest of the people
yes.
just know him as a businessman. Like if you're
Yep.
not in tune
Yep.
with that. So it makes sense that he would rise to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that's really interesting is, we have heard, I think specifically from Chris Gore and from other people, that Marvel has actually tried to make a pivot. Like they've actually tried to make a pivot away from the messaging and everything and actually trying to make good things again. Now Daredevil has been in the works for a while. Daredevil Born Again has been in the works for a
Well,
while.
they scrapped it and then they went back to
Yeah.
it. They scrapped everything
Yeah.
and then they went back to it. So
But like I said, we've heard that they've tried to make a pivot to make good entertainment again that people can enjoy. And the thing is, that trailer looks good. That
It
trailer
looks
looks
fantastic.
genuinely good. It
It's
looks
so-
like it can be a really good series. Now we've seen good trailers before for things and they've fallen apart. But I will give this, especially because I've heard all this stuff about the original Daredevil series. I need to go back and watch it.
Watch everyone. I watch all of those Netflix ones besides Iron Fist. Iron Fist sucked.
Yeah,
But watch
and-
Jessica Jones, watch Luke Cage. They're all
And
good.
this is, if I remember correctly, Charlie Cox is his name, the guy playing
Charlie Cox.
Daredevil. But
Yep.
this is him playing it again. I know he took it up in She-Hulk, but yet again, same thing with King.
And in Echo, he did it in Echo with
watch
one
that shit.
scene.
Yeah, but he looks strong in Echo too, though. They actually gave him clout in that.
The
He looked
fight
strong.
against Echo,
He beat her ass.
yeah, but she got hits in.
Yeah, but he was playing with her. He was playing with his food. But
He was.
the thing is it's like he likes this character. He loves
Yeah,
this
he plays
fucking
it well.
character. And it just seems like they want to make this series good. I'm hoping they actually make this series good because I will give this a fucking chance because of
100%.
that trailer. Unless something else comes out and it's just like, oh, stay away kind of thing.
I did see also something too. I don't know how true it is that apparently Hugh Jackman has agreed to be Wolverine for another like decade if needed.
Yeah, until he's 90.
Yeah, no. So it's just I hope not, honestly. But here's the thing: it's like this is one of those that yes, they could make a pivot all they want, but what do they have, right? Like,
Well,
he is an older guy coming in. He's gonna have a
Yes.
few more years as Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio has a few more years as Kingpin.
Mhm.
Like there needs to be a new crop. There needs
Yeah.
to be a real reset,
yes.
and they refuse to do it because they can't do it properly.
So, but that's what it seems like they're kind of doing with the new Fantastic Four and the whole Doom plot going on.
Worst, like they should. Like Fantastic Four is always doomed. So,
But it's a
don't do it.
different universe, though, right? So that's with comics, you can play around with these things. You can hit the reset button because they've done it in their own entertainment style. So
Agreed.
they do have a lot to build up to, but you can do that still. You
We
have the
need-
ability to do that.
But we need a new Steve Rogers. We need a new it was
Yeah.
actually a good direction when they went with the new X-Men. I and when they went with the whole new group with the First Class and things
Mhm.
like that, because
Mhm.
it was, as much as there were some flaws in those movies, I thought they were generally done pretty well as in kind of aside from what we were used to, right?
Yeah.
I thought they were done decently. It obviously went off the rails, like the Phoenix sucked and stuff like that. But it was a good aside to what we had and a nice little reset to what we had, right?
Mhm.
They need to do something like that with the Avengers, with Cap, with Iron Man, with all of them, because they've all kind of thrown them to the wayside, right? So
Yes.
we need to get a reset and kind of do what DC's done with Batman and Superman. Pretend like the other shit doesn't exist and just restart.
Yeah.
And pretend like it doesn't exist.
Well,
and
they had
kind of
Flash try to restart, but
Yeah,
also no one watched Flash, so it doesn't
but
matter.
it's like, there's so many other good ones. Like, okay, you covered Infinity War, you covered Civil War kind of loosely, right? Like, you can always go back and redo Civil War without calling it Civil War because you absolutely did not do what it was at all.
They completely fucked Secret Invasion.
Secret
God.
Invasion, nobody watched. They could just
Oh
go
my
redo it again.
God. Yeah, that
They
is
could
true.
just go
but
redo it.
Jesus
Nobody
fucking
watched, nobody
Christ.
cared about it. The issue is they had some perfect casting for characters, so they're gonna have to go back and find really good ones again. But it can be done, obviously. Like they've had it so that they can do it this way. And they need to go back and hit a reset button. And again, you can go again, don't call it Civil War. Call it like the fucking registration arc. Because that was the best part about the Civil War, was the registration versus the not. Tony a bit on the wrong side, Cap on the other, and Spider-Man being caught in the middle. You still have Tom Holland, guys. Like, you don't realize
Only
you
for
still
so
have
long too.
but you still have a young man who, to me, has been the best Spider-Man around. He's been the best one out of all of them. House of M.
Yeah, I was
you
just gonna
do
go
House
with
of
you.
M.
Hold on, because I want to get to the rest of it. We just got to eat shit until after the next Avengers. It's very possibly true. Henry Cavill is what they have, and no, they don't because they're not going to cast him in anything. I'm going to let you
I
know that
do
right now.
say that they can pivot still because the next Avengers, they might do some rewrites
Yeah,
with what's going on.
It's interesting, right?
Just eliminate
Because
Anthony Mackie.
there's a lot of things that you can. Yeah. I'm a Fantastic Four nerd. Doom is tied with Blade as my favorite Marvel character. I refuse to watch a Pedro Pascal Fantastic Four. I can understand that because, he's in everything and he's honestly not that great of an actor. You have to do House of M in the remake. Yes. Dude, that's the thing. There are so many ways they could go in Marvel. There are so many ways they can go in DC.
Yes.
And that's one of the issues that they had was after you have such a good start in Marvel, you decide to jump just decades of fucking comics to go up to recent shit. And because Ms. Marvel should never have been in fucking anything.
With it not being done right. Right? Because
even if it's done right, no one cared about the comic run of Miss Marvel.
That's
No
true.
one cares. No one likes these characters.
No.
So why are you running these like that?
You know what the thing is? And it's tough because DC could never replicate what started the Marvel thing. It was an obscure semi-main character in Iron Man that started it all. And that's the thing. It wasn't their main guys. It wasn't, Spider-Man was big, right? But Spider-Man was Fox. Spider-Man was Fox, Sony, whatever it was there.
X-Men was
X-Men was Fox.
Four was Fox.
Fantastic Four. So it's like what Marvel started with the Marvel DC, with the universe, was okay. He was an Avenger. People liked Iron Man. They knew who he was, but he wasn't the main guy. And it was just they had the persona of Tony Stark
Robert
perfectly
Downey
with
Jr.
Robert Downey
was literally
Jr.
the perfect Tony Stark.
He was deep, and that kind of is what hit him. And don't get me wrong, they had a great story to start it off with. They wrote a very good tale of redemption.
You go back and watch the first Iron Man.
You
go back and watch, holds up completely. It's
because it was a redemption arc. Redemption arcs always hold up. It was the cocky fucking billionaire that was just making money that then saw what his shit did, and then people forget that a good chunk of that movie was him going around the world destroying his own shit, right? Like, that was part of it. He was going around the world destroying his own weapons because he saw what it was. You could sit there and it's like, it was an anti-war message in so many ways. And at the end, and it was Obadiah being the hungry businessman. Like, it was honestly Robert Downey Jr. being like a soft snowflake about crying about what he did, trying to make it right in the worst way possible. And then Obadiah trying to become a greedy capitalist. And we cheered for the wimp to beat the capitalist. Like, that's what went on. And it was great.
To be fair, he was also handling shit himself, though, right? Because he became the one person. You don't want to fight Iron Man. He will take out armies. So that's the thing.
Yes. And then the thing is, too, like, they went nerdy without going too nerdy, right? Like, they let you under the hood on how he does things without getting too into the woods. Because you know what? He used Jarvis a lot. And we can, like, and that was like, okay, he didn't get into, like, but we saw some cool tech. I can still remember when he pops up the fucking whole dynamic and starts pulling things and pushing things away. Like, I'm like, I want that in the future. That is a really cool computer screen, like, type of thing. So that's the thing that DC can't replicate right now. They don't have that character that they've been able to, and they can't try because you know what? They're doing it with their main guys, right? Because that's what they have. Flash, and what people, Flash is a main guy. People love the Flash. He is right up there, maybe a very tier below Bats and Soups. Flash
and
is
Wonder
right
Woman.
there.
And Wonder Woman's up there.
Well, but that's because people love Linda Carter. She's fucking hot as hell.
Yeah, but still.
And that's the thing. But it's like the Justice League is so well known. It would be Dave. It would be the equivalent of if Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern hit big. Is what exactly would have been the same thing as like equivalent to Iron Man. Because Green Lantern's a main. Now again, they went with the wrong Green Lantern. Why do you go with Hal Jordan? Our Green Lantern is fucking Jon Stewart. Give us Jon Stewart.
But you can go with Hal Jordan. That was just a shit movie. But either way,
Ryan Reynolds actually did a pretty good job.
I never watched
bad movie.
I never watched it. Nate said She-Hulk the comic was a banger. Look at what those commies did. Yes, exactly. Squiggles wants more of Scarlett Johansson. Everyone wants more of Scarlett Johansson. Squiggles. Nate Jarvis ain't got shit on Alfred, and it's not character, it's executives. Yeah, that's true. That's
Jarvis will fucking kill Alfred, okay? Get out of here. Anyway, but that's a DC nerd versus a Marvel nerd about to have a war. Nate, don't respond, damn it. Anyway, but overall, it looks good. If the pivot is real and they can get creative again, okay, it looked like Jon Favreau had a really good grip on what Marvel should go in that direction. I don't think Jon Favreau should go back. I think he's lost his way.
Mhm.
I think Kevin Feige sucks.
Mhm.
But they need someone in that vein, someone that's a fan, someone that was able to do things in that way that can guide them and kind of do what Favreau did and guiding them in the proper way of understanding what these comics were.
You just need someone that's willing to be artistic in the way they go about things,
And
but
autistic
also,
in the way they go about things.
yeah, in a way, right? Because like you just need to actually try to make something true or to the character, right?
Yeah.
Because like Thor was fun for a while because he was actually Thor, and then he became a comic relief character, and it's just like that's not what we
He
need
was
Thor
that god.
for.
His comic relief was his ignorance to human ways, right? That
Yes.
was him funny, like being a god and like being a
Mhm.
little ignorant.
Mhm.
And the thing is, too, it's like when it comes to comics, we are okay with you not getting direct translations from the stories.
'Cause
But
you
as long
won't.
as the
'Cause
characters,
there's so many different versions of the characters in comics anyway.
but that's why we enjoyed what we saw anyway, because it was like, okay, this isn't Civil War, right? It's not the Civil War comic. But
Mhm.
Steve Rogers was doing what Steve Rogers would do if this was going on. Tony
Mhm.
Stark, Winter Soldier, those are all believable things that would happen. Steve Rogers' overwhelming loyalty to Bucky would override whatever the fuck loyalty he's had to the Avengers. That is an absolute Steve Rogers thing to do, right?
Mhm.
All the characters acted like what you would think they would in those situations. And that's where these people need to understand that they're making. No, you don't have to make it page for page, panel for panel. What you do need to do is whatever you are doing with that character, make it with them what they would do. If you could do that, then you're going to be fine. Again, the first Fantastic Four was not very great, right? Jessica Alba's a smoke. That helps. The casting was decent. Chris Evans was a pretty good, but the thing
Johnny, yeah.
is, their personalities matched what you were going to see in
Mhm.
the comics. That was their biggest thing they had going for it. The personalities were good. Victor was fantastic. The guy from fucking Nip Tuck played a great Victor Von Doom. And it was like, okay, the story kind of sucked. Okay, it wasn't a great story. Even the second one, like they made Surfer well, but it was like you were happy with how they brought the actual characters out of the pages. Give them better stories, it works better. That Fantastic Four is still around today.
Mhm.
But that's kind of what we want as comic book nerds, as any gatekeepers. Give us the characters and what they would do, not necessarily the exact same stories, but just make them who they are, and you're in good shape. So, real quick, Nate G, Warner Brothers is full of absolute morons. DC Comics has been full of morons since before I was born, unless it's on the animated side, right? Because animated, they're fucking fantastic. Alan Scott is a correction. Yes. Squiggle saying, I want more Punisher stories too. Again, Punisher is.
They haven't done any good recent Punisher in the comics,
haven't done
as far
good
as I've
recent-
heard.
So- Punisher, the issue with Punisher is he's one of those guys, like he falls under Blade, he falls under Ghost Rider, he falls under, like they're all in that same vein of we like
Cool.
them. They're dope as shit. Really hard to bring to the screen. Like Nick Cage did as good of a job as you're going to do bringing Ghost Rider to the screen, right? I forget the actor's name, but he was fantastic as Punisher. Great Punisher. And we can go on and on with them, but they're hard to bring in. Alba was the only good thing about Fantastic Four. Alba's just good in general. I fucking love Jessica Alba. Nate G, Iron Man is the modern day Detroit Lions. Batman is the 80s 49ers, 90s Cowboys, 2000 Patriots, 2010 Patriots, and modern day Chiefs. Yeah. But you know what though? The staying power isn't there, Nate, because Batman's great. But once you tell a few of the Batman stories, he doesn't play nice with others. It never translates to a Justice League. So it's like the Justice League they did make was fucking hot garbage. And I'm sorry, everyone. The Snyder Cut's great. The Snyder Cut was okay. It made the movie watchable. Okay,
His vision isn't exactly the greatest.
but it made the movie watchable. It didn't make it great. We thought it was great because the first one was fucking trash. Anyway, but Batman would be great if they could do anything with him outside of 3 movies and go on to the next one, 2 or 3 movies, on to the next Batman. Like Batman is James Bond, okay? If you only want to talk, Batman is fucking James Bond. They always put a new man behind the mask. Squiggle saying Warner Brothers ruined the last 2 Hitman games. Are you surprised? I also believe it was Warner Brothers why Cyberpunk 2077 was rushed. Modern gaming is why Cyberpunk was fucking rushed, but possibly. But yeah, overall, I guess my final thought is optimistically hopeful about.
Yeah, I'm hopeful
new
about that
Daredevil.
series. I'm hopeful about that series. I will go watch the original Daredevil stuff before that comes out 100%.
And I'm telling you, I hope they possibly do something again with the Defenders, because it was going in a good direction. Jessica Jones got a little off. Luke Cage, like they started off strong and they kind of petered. Iron Fist, the actor, was just not a good Iron Fist. But that could be a group again that they try to bring back. So
Yeah.
Nate G saying crazy to think WB. It was WB who did
Man,
Arkham.
oh man, we don't have to go into it, but Arkham's like some of the best Batman ever. Either
No,
way.
but hold on. The Arkham Batman's alive. Didn't you know that?
We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Kill the Justice League is
We're
they
not doing
saved
it.
their game, David.
doing it.
He's
We're not
back
doing
for more.
not doing it.
Didn't you want to come back and play? He's
Jesus
back.
Christ.
Oh
Jesus Christ.
my God. Squiggle saying the Batman games are good. They are good. They are.
Awesome. They're incredible games.
They are. But as long as he's not standing like this the whole time. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna get out of here. Dave, do you have anything else before you go on your hiatus again? You'll be back
that's
Wednesday,
about
right?
it. Yeah, should be
You'll
back
be here
Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So you'll be back. We have a guest coming on Wednesday. I'm pumped about that. But yeah, Dave, what did you think of this studio here? I thought it worked pretty well.
Yeah, no, studio's not bad. Studio's not bad at all.
It works. We still have our chats. We still have all of our stuff
Yeah.
here. Restream, not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad. We'll continue to use it.
Mhm.
I still miss all my extra videos that I never use, but I just like having them there.
Mhm.
But I digress. But all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it wherever you're watching from, whether it is X, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, or Kick. Please do your due diligence. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to go over it all. Do what you got to do. And if you're listening on podcast form, leave us a good review. We appreciate that. Everyone, we are out of here. Thank you, as always, Nate Squiggles, for having lively discussion in the chat. We always appreciate that. And anyone else that's watching, don't be a fucking lurker. Start talking to us.
No,
All right.
it's fine to be alert.